Hey, Chris Guthrie here from EntrepreneurBoost.com, and I'm filming this video to show you my first 30 days selling on Amazon.com. So I'm going to log into my Seller Central account, show you my sales proof so you can check that out. Now, before I log in, I want to make a distinction here. I'm not buying lower priced items in stores and then reselling them on Amazon where I can sell them for more. That's a popular method that's going around right now. But it's not really the way, in my opinion, to build a scalable business. And the way to build a scalable business is to create your own brand, your own product, and then control your destiny better in that way, rather than trying to fight with a bunch of other sellers to sell the same thing that everyone else is selling on Amazon. So basically, I'm selling my own private label product. I found the supplier on Alibaba.com, so it's a supplier from China. And I mentioned private label product because that means I control 100% of the buy box on Amazon. So that means when you go to Amazon.com and buy my product, you can only buy from me. And that means I don't have to deal with competitors fighting for me for my exact same product. Now, of course, people sell similar products. That's fine. But I control my own product, and then I can control where that's sold. Now, why am I even doing this? So I had a guest on my podcast, and basically he reached out to me and was looking for some advice. We got to talking for a little while, and I found out he was selling an incredible amount of stuff on Amazon. And I was also very surprised to learn that he was making more money than I was. And I've been doing this stuff, various types of things, full time for nearly the last half decade, and he'd been doing it for, at the time, about a year. So that was very impressive to me. And I had him onto my podcast. You can click the link on this video here to go listen. And basically, long story short, we ended up forming a mastermind for people that when they sign up to do the course that he learned through and that I've learned through as well, you can get access to that mastermind. So in any case, I want to log into my account here though and show you that. So let me do that now. And now some things I'm going to be blurring out because I don't want to share all the details about what it is I'm doing basically, because I don't want people to see the exact same product I'm doing and go try and copy me, which I think you'd agree is fair. But over here on the side, you can see sales summary. So the last 30 days, I've done $2,981.10, or 290 units. But then in the most recent 7 days, I've done $1,552.53, or 147 units. So really what you want to do is you look at the most recent 7 days and multiply that out by about 4, and that's roughly what you can potentially hit. So I'm on track to, if I can continue, to do over $6,000 and maybe even more, because every day that number continues to grow actually, because I've been able to sell more and more. So I'm actually going to log in here, or rather I'm going to go to my reports here and show you. So business reports. Now this is where I'm going to be blurring out a few things here as well, just so I don't want people to see exactly what it is I'm selling or my category. But let me do a date range here of the last 30 days. And I counted this out just to be sure. But here we go. Alright, so here you can see the start here. The very first time I was selling my product for a lower price, so just under 10 bucks, just to try and get some initial traction. Now, one thing I've learned too is that in the future I would do a higher priced product just to get a little bit better profit margin. But I had 2 sales that day, and I started this graph here on my first sales, and I basically didn't have my listing completely done before July 28th, and so that's why that's like that. But you can see I've kind of got some sales up and down, a few sales up and down, and then slowly start to climb. And this climb starts around the time I start getting some initial reviews, and people are liking the product. And again, I'm up a little bit higher than the previous week, and then I'm getting more reviews and it's selling, and then I start climbing rankings for my product keyword terms that I'm trying to rank for, and I'm also ranking higher in my bestseller category. And then everything starts continuing to grow. I hit 20 units in a day, which is great, and I think, okay, that's awesome. And then I hit, what was it, 30 units. I went from 14 to 30 units, and I thought, okay, I need to start raising my price because I'm going to run out of stock soon. And so I raised my price, and I sold 25 units, and I raised my price again, which was today, and I again sold 25 units, and tomorrow I'll probably raise my price again. I don't know by how much, but basically I found that I've done pretty well just starting out with this product, and I can see where I can continue to go. I'm actually kind of concerned about my stock running out, but basically this is what I've done. I've gone out, picked a product that I thought I could sell, created my own private label version of it, found a supplier, and then started selling. And a lot of what Amazon's all about is getting reviews, getting sales, and then good customer service, and then kind of growing in that way. Now there's a whole lot more that I've learned both from people in our mastermind and then also from the other mastermind member, Brian Leidy. But that's basically most of what we've done. Now I did want to point out one other thing too. I'm not really spending much on Amazon PPC, just to point that out. Now again, I'm going to have a lot of stuff blurred out here on this page. But if I come over here to this view all reports, I can go back to July 28th. I really haven't done much at all with PPC. In fact, I accidentally turned off my campaign, which shows how I'm a beginner and still doing well. I didn't do any on the first few days. Then I did a little bit. Then I did a bit more. And then here I forgot. I basically turned off my campaign by mistake because I accidentally set a campaign end date. So for about 12 days, I wasn't doing anything. And then when I turned it back on, that actually kind of coincided with me getting more sales. And then now I'm spending at most, a few bucks a day. I have a campaign budget of $15 a day, and I've never even come close to that. $5 about is the most I've spent. But that's pretty much it. And if you look at my if you come back to business reports, last day it's been 25 units, and I estimate profit for that to be around $100. And the thing that's different is that when you first start out with your product, you're going to be buying a lower minimum order quantity. So your costs are going to be higher, your shipping is going to be higher on a per unit basis. And so really there's a lot of things that you can do once you start scaling up, getting more sales, getting more reviews. And so for my next batch, which I already ordered before, which is going to be double the amount that I bought before, I'm going to be able to make even more money because the shipping is really not that much more expensive than the previous one was, because when you're shipping from China, there's a lot of export type things that you have to pay for. But I just use a company that handles all of that, and they have an office in China. Which is something that a member in our mastermind pointed out to me, so I used that one, and that's basically it. I've said before that I wanted to create my own product because I don't want to deal with going out to different stores, finding lower price stuff, and then reselling it. That just sounds like a nightmare to me. But doing this process can be more of a real business approach where you can control your own destiny. Like I said before, selling on Amazon is just one opportunity. You can, of course, go and sell on your own website as you build that up, sell on other types of retailers as well, so that you can scale out that way too. So hopefully you enjoyed just seeing the sales proof and checking that out. The other thing too I want to draw your attention to is that we do have a mastermind. It opens roughly twice per year. We've only done it once before, and we've got a lot of people actually that are doing quite well. Over half a dozen that are actually selling more than me, which is awesome for them, but I'm trying to play catch up. But the next time it opens is in October. So on this page, on this video rather, you can click a button to go and find out more details. But basically, all I did was I had someone reach out to me just randomly through email, asking for some advice. I gave him some free feedback, and then we got to talking, found out what he was doing, and I thought, I got to try this too. So that's basically all I've done. And then I pretty much just step by step worked on this, only on the side and nights and weekends, because my primary business is software and running websites and other things like that. But I can see this would be a great additional thing to grow potentially into a much, much larger business. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. And again, I'm not going to share the product, of course, because that would be stupid. But in our mastermind, we do talk about product selection and help people with that component as well. So hopefully you decided to check that out. And if you have any questions, please do post in the comments area, which again, if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, go ahead and click the button that you see on this video, and you can head on over to my blog to ask me some questions as well. So thank you again for watching, and I wish you the best.